What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with finally a beginner-friendly guitar tutorial for Exile by Taylor Swift and Iver. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know down in the comments below what other songs by Taylor Swift or Iver that you want to learn on guitar. The first thing that you want to know to play Exile on guitar is that we're going to be in half step down tuning. If you don't know how to get to half step down tuning, I'm going to do a really quick little crash course on how to get to half step down tuning. But if you already know how to tune to half step down tuning, I am going to leave a timestamp in the pinned comment below so that you can skip that part and get straight into the song. So guys, you can use any guitar tuner for this. I'm using the built-in tuner that's in my Faith, Blood, Moon, Neptune. I know I'm going to get questions about what this tape is. That's so that little button doesn't jiggle around. So we're going to start here with our low E. And for our low E, we're going to pick that and we're going to lower it half a step until we get to D sharp. Just like that. Obviously, you want it to be straight up and down, perfect in tune. Until we get green, there we go. Onto our next string, our A, we're gonna tune that to a G sharp. Same thing, just straight down, half a step. Boom, G sharp. Next we're onto our D string. Our D string, we're gonna tune to a C sharp. Perfect. Next to our G string, we're gonna tune that to an F sharp. Same thing, just down half a step on all of these guys. There it is, perfect. Next on to our B, which we're going to tune to an A sharp. And last onto our high E, which we're going to tune down half step to a D sharp, just like we did on the low E string as well. And now we are in half step down tuning. One thing I'd add, guys, is to go through those strings one more time before you start playing, just to make sure that everything's all in tune, and double check your work and then dive into the song. Now that we're in half step down tuning, the next thing that you want to know is the structure of this song. We're going to start out with a verse, then go to chorus, then verse and chorus again, then we're going to have a bridge, and then another chorus. We're going to finish up with one last bridge to take us out of the song. And the last thing that you want to know before we dive into Exile is the 4 chords that you need to play this song. The first one is C. The next one is D. The next one is E minor. And the last one is G. And I'll have chord charts for all of those in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into Exile. Man, this is such a beautiful song. It's one of those that I just have such a guilty pleasure for because it's such a beautifully sad song. I think this one's my favorite on the album so far, but let me know in the comments down below what other songs you want to see next from the new Folklore album. So with that in mind, guys, let's take a look at this song. So the first thing that we hear in this song is going to be the verse. So for the verses in Exile, what we're going to do is match up as closely with what's being played on piano as possible. So the way that we're going to achieve that is by a finger picking pattern where we're going to be able to play almost exactly what's being played on piano, but obviously on guitar. So for this, we're going to have 2 shapes. The first shape is going to be based around a G chord. It's not really going to be a full G chord, but it's going to be based around a G chord. So we're going to start with a 3rd fret on low E, and we're going to pick that twice. And then we're going to do a 3rd fret on low E, but this time we're going to play it with an open G at the same time. So 3rd, low E, open G at the same time. And then we're going to do a 3rd fret on the B string by itself. And then an open B string by itself. And then we're going to take this pointer finger and we're going to drop it down on 2nd fret of the G string. We're going to play that 3rd fret of the low E and that 2nd fret on the G string at the same time. And then we're going to play an open high E. And that's the end of our first shape. That's the G shape. So one more time through that, we've got 3rd low E, 3rd low E, 3rd low E and open G at the same time, 3rd B, open B, 3rd low E and 2nd on G, and then open B. That's the end of our first shape. That's the end of the G shape. Next, we're going to go to more of an E minor shape. So you can go ahead and just put your full E minor on there. We're not going to be using the full E minor shape, but it does help to just go ahead and have it on there because it is kind of the root of what we're playing. So we're going to start here with an open low E again. And then we're going to do open low E and 2nd on the D string at the same time. And then 2nd on the G string, open on the G string, second on the D string and open low E at the same time, and then open G string by itself. So one more time through that second part there, that E minor shape, we're gonna go open low E, open low E, open low E, and second on the D string at the same time, and then second on the G string, open G string, open low E, and second on the D string at the same time, and then open G. Just like that. And those are the two shapes, and we're just gonna repeat those two shapes, those two picking patterns right there over and over again through all of our verses. And guys, I know that might seem a little bit intimidating. That is the hardest part of the song. From here, it gets a lot easier. So one last little walkthrough of those two picking patterns together before we do an actual playthrough will look like this. We're gonna start with our G shape. We're gonna go third low E, third low E, third low E, and open G at the same time, third B, open B, and we're gonna go third low E and second G at the same time, and then open B, and then we're on to our next shape, that E minor shape. We're gonna go open low E, open low E, open low E, and second D at the same time, and then we're gonna go second on the G, open G, and then we're gonna go open low E, second D at the same time, and then open G. And that right there is just gonna repeat through all of your verses for Exile. It's beautiful, it matches up perfectly with that piano part that's being played in there. I love it, it's so much fun to play. It's a little bit tricky, but just repeat it over and over again. It is helpful that this is kind of a slow pattern, so it does help that it doesn't take much to get it up to full speed. So with that in mind, guys, as usual with picking patterns, I'm gonna play through this a couple of times very slowly so that you can make sure you have all the right stuff in all the right places. And I'm gonna play through it a couple of times full speed so that you can match it up with the speed of the song. So slowly a couple of times first through the picking pattern. It's gonna play through the verses on Exile will look about like this. And a couple of times full speed through the picking pattern that's going to repeat through all of the verses on Exile will look about like this. And from there, guys, things start to get much, much easier because for our choruses and our bridges, we're only going to have very simple chord progressions and very simple strum patterns to go along with them. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what we're playing for our chorus. For our chorus, we have kind of a long chord progression, but it's not super challenging. Our chord progression for our chorus is going to be C, D, E minor, D. We're going to repeat that twice, and then we're going to go to C, D, E minor, G. We're going to play that one once, and then we're going to go to C, D, E minor, and E minor again. And And we're also gonna play that one time. So that's our full chorus, and that's just gonna play once through each time we come around to our chorus. Now, for each chord, all we're gonna do is 2 down strums for each chord. And that's gonna match up perfectly with what's being played on piano in the actual song as well, obviously translated to guitar. So let's walk through that chord by chord. We'll start with our C chord here. That's our first chord in the chorus progression. We'll go down, 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 down. Next line, down, 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 down. Last line, down, 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 down. Just like that, and that's gonna take us out of our chorus. Pretty simple, guys, all very basic chords that most of you probably already know how to play, and a very beginner-friendly strum pattern to go along with it. So once all the way through that chorus chord progression with that 2 down strum pattern for each chord will look about like this without me talking. And guys, from there, the only other thing that you need to know to play Exile on guitar is the bridge. And the bridge is, again, just a simple chord progression and a simple strum pattern repeated over and over and over again. Probably the easiest part of the song, but actually probably my favorite part of the song, because it's just such a powerful, big build, such a beautiful part. So our chord progression for our bridges is going to be G, E minor, D, and C. And that's going to repeat for both our first bridge and the bridge that's going to take us out of the song. And for each chord, we're just going to have 4 down strums played at about the same pace as the strum pattern that we had for our choruses. So a little walkthrough of what that'll look like is about like this. We'll start with our G. We'll have down, 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 down. Just about like that, repeated through both of our bridges over and over and over again. Like I said, it's a very simple part of the song guitar-wise and piano-wise as well, but it's actually my favorite because I love that just building bridge. It's kind of one of my favorite elements of a song. But a couple times through that chord progression and strum pattern that we'll be repeating through both of our bridges will look about like this without me talking. And guys, that is everything that you need to know to play Exile on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 750 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there could not be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what songs I'm jamming on, where I'm traveling right now, or pictures of my dog, you can hit up my Instagram at @thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below. And lastly, guys, if you want to support the channel and get your name in the credits at the end of each new guitar tutorial, you can hit up my Patreon at patreon.com/thegroovyguitardude. Link for that will be in the description below as well. Guys, I cannot believe it has taken me this long to get to a lesson from Folklore. I absolutely love Folklore. Michelle and I have been listening to it almost non-stop since it's come out. It's a beautiful album, and this is probably my favorite song. It's a close toss-up between this one and Cardigan, but as with most Taylor Swift albums and a lot of albums in general, I think it's going to be one of those that different songs kind of grow on me and hit me at different times. But right now, this is one of my top 2 songs. It's a beautiful song. It's totally making me want to buy a piano so that I can learn how to play the piano for this song. But in the meantime, this guitar part is so beautiful and it matches up so perfectly with piano. This is one of those songs that is originally played on piano, obviously. If you've gotten to this point in the lesson, you know that. But it translates really, really well to guitar. It's really easy to kind of pick out those notes and play them on guitar. And really the only tricky part of this song is going to be that half step down tuning. If you've never done that before, that's going to be a little bit tricky just because it's not familiar. But what's cool is that all of your chords stay exactly the same. You don't have to learn any new chord shapes or anything like that. All you have to do is tune down half a step. All the chord shapes stay the same. You get that little finger picking pattern, which might be a little bit challenging, but what's cool about that is it's pretty slow. So even if you've never done any finger picking before, that's actually a great place to start. And other than that, we have very basic chord progressions and very basic strum patterns. It's a beautiful song. It translates really well from piano to guitar, and I had so much fun learning this one. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.